All right, test one, two, three, test one, two, three. I think we are good to go. All right. Hey, everyone. Happy Wednesday here. Happy FOMC day. A lot of stuff was going on. We got a new daily candle starting off. But before that, hope you guys are just chill. It's been a long day. I think all of you guys know that it is hump day here, and Bitcoin did not give us a good hump day. So let's just kind of break down what's going on here. We can check out some news here in a little bit, but hopefully you guys are doing okay. Let me see. Oh, also, Loki wants to say hello. Loki. He's wagging his tail here, but I don't know if you guys can see him. Loki, come here. Loki. Loki. No. Where's Loki? There he goes. Okay. There was a couple of huskies on my property today, and I tried to grab them, but they wouldn't let me, so Loki was like freaking out about them. There we go. All right, so let's just do a quick little breakdown about Bitcoin. For this one, I wanted to zoom in just a little bit because today was actually a little bit more volatile, and we are having a little bit more of a breakdown. So let me open this up very fast just so you guys can see everything going on. So before all of this started off, guys, I told you guys Bitcoin was, of course, bearish. I was like, hey, the weekly charts are kind of pulling us down right now, and I'm not too excited, but I'm like this cautiously optimistic because maybe the FOMC could really get us pumping up. And no, the FOMC was not able to pump us up or do anything of real consequence today. And we'll talk about that in a little bit here. But that bearishness that we've been talking about since the last couple days, it's still there, and it looks like it's winning out right now. So you guys can see at this point in time, we're seeing the 20-day moving average being breached by Bitcoin. It's happened a couple of times over the last few months. It's nothing crazy, but typically when we're getting rejected like this, it's not the best of signs going forward. So what most people are doing is most likely just kind of figuring out what they want to do here. Are they going to continue to all cost averaging? Are they going to open up a short or something like that? For me, you can open up a couple shorts here on the 4-hour chart or the 1-hour chart if you guys want to, but you guys just have to have those stop losses that protect you guys, because right now Bitcoin is getting suckered back down here. Daily chart right now, you can see that breakdown. It just happened a few minutes ago, breaking back down a little bit more. Now on the daily chart, we do have the bearishness of the RSI, the stochastic, and the MACD. Let me open it. There you go. So everything is now bearish here, which is definitely not what you want to see at this point. We'll see if we're able to get around that here, but since we just had the candle close literally 5 minutes ago, we're looking a little bit more bearish here, and I'm hoping that we can try to find a way to hold on. What I see right now is obviously our last little attempt to bounce off today. This is going to be one of those big days where you're just like, please, 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 please do not break down Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin does start to break back down, you guys can see that we're probably going to be heading back down here towards $63,000. And if that were to break down, of course, we come all the way back down here towards like the 50s again, which could really make people very anxious after this great rally that we had over the past couple weeks. It could all be wiped away in a few days. At this point in time, though, we are barely holding on. We're going to see what happens here. A support level that you guys might want to keep in the back of your head for today is going to be around $64,000, $64,200. That level is what I'm really looking for right now. And hey, Halder, happy to see you. 88 Chromed, I'm happy to see both of you guys there. Definitely just one of those days where we are getting smacked around a little bit, though. If I go over here to the 15-minute chart, you guys can see what happened here a little bit later on. So if I go over here very fast, this was the FOMC meeting. No, where was this at? There? Yeah. Sorry. There was a few big moves today. This was the FOMC meeting right here. Bounced around a little bit, and then eventually we did come back down here, and now we are coming down and resting on a new level of support, hopefully not breaking down below this. But that overall theme that we've been talking about is, of course, Bitcoin is still bearish. A few things you guys might want to know as far as just, typical Fibonacci levels. We have a couple. Maybe the 4-hour chart's going to be better for this one. Yeah. If we do have a breakdown from here, we do have a few options, I would say. There you go. And you guys can see the first one held for a little bit. We broke down below it. Next one is down here around 63,200. We just talked about that as being that next level of support. And right below that is 61,235. So we do have some opportunities if you guys do want to buy and do some day trading. But at this point, when I'm looking at a bunch of these, what would you call them? Scalping opportunities or trading opportunities in general, I'm still thinking this is kind of a rough time to be wanting to trade, unless at this point, because bearish on the weekly, bearish on the daily here. I'm still more like, this is probably more of a shorter's market here. The 4-hour chart that we saw right over here, short, sell, 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 right? That one ended up working out into our favor. The reason why we didn't really do it as a whole, though, is, of course, because there was FOMC data during that time, and it's a little bit more of a gamble to try to play during those crazy times. But that same principle applies right now. This is definitely more of a market where people are going to be looking to short, or you guys are going to be looking to find a potential bottom. We had one right here. We bounced for a little bit. We have another one coming up at 63,333, and then perhaps after that we'll be able to bounce back up here and hopefully hold on to this stronger level of support. All right, so what I'm going to do very fast now is move this back over here, move that back over there. There we go. And go back to the 4-hour chart just one more time so you guys can really see what I'm focusing on here. All of this is pointing towards more bearish activity. We're at a big level of support. We're going to see if we're able to hold this level of support today, and if not, we're going to come all the way back down here towards 63,247. So if you guys are looking for a buying opportunity, where maybe it's a little bit more, the RSI is in your favor a little bit more, then you're probably looking around $63,000 for that buying zone here. The dollar index also had a little bit of a hiccup today as well. We saw that it went up. Oops, no, wrong one. We saw that it went back up here a little bit more, but it came back down here, which should have been a good sign for Bitcoin, but it wasn't. So that's a little bit more curious there. Again, the way you would look at it is Bitcoin's own technical is still pretty bearish. We're going to have to go sideways here, it looks like, in order to get that bigger move. And hey, Greg, happy to see you, my man. Let me make sure this is actually looking okay here. Now, take a sip of water here. So right now we got, Bitcoin, Ethereum, a few other tokens. Cost was up a little bit for the day. Beam is up. These are the same things as before. As far as what's going down, though, AOZ network or AIOZ network is down. Popcat is down. Book of Meme is down. Thor chain is down. Mantle is down. Tau is down. Starknet's down. Bonk is down. You're seeing a lot of stuff down for the last few hours or last 24 hours. And so even though this was a good day, I would say, for the FOMC, in fact, you saw the stock market doing very, very well. Bitcoin is still having some issues here, and it might take a little bit more time than we want for Bitcoin to get back on track. It's not bearish, like as far as, like, oh my God, we're going down to like, $10,000, $20,000, but it definitely does not feel like we are gearing up for this really big move. We're going to have to see that breakout happen, or we're going to have to see Bitcoin try to consolidate a little bit more here. So when we look at the weekly charts, again, let me take off the Fibonacci's just because they're not really useful to us right now. When we see all of these on the weekly chart get green, basically for, to make it easy for you guys to see, once everything is green, 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 and we have a breakout of some type, that's going to be when you guys feel really great about buying. Right now, everything is red, 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 red. And we're waiting to see if something can happen here. Again, I'm not devastated about this, but it looks like we just have to consolidate a little bit longer. And of course, this overall trend line that's been going down here with the lower highs, we're going to have to find a way to break out of that here sometime in the next month, basically the month of August, if you will. Everything else looking fine. Ethereum is looking fine at this point. Let me take the oscillators away. Still consolidating. Solana, like I told you guys before, it doesn't feel like optimistic to me because the oscillators are so kind of wonky here. Doge, fine. Whiff, they're not great, but we're just kind of pretty much watching them right now to see how bad they may get. STMX had a really good rally the last few weeks. It's kind of dying back down right now, but it did have a nice little pump. What did that pump go up to here? Let's not go for the bottom. Let's just go for here. Yeah, like 84%. So some of these small caps are still doing some stuff here, but it feels like momentum is shifting back into the bears' favor once again. And there you guys go. At least there's some opportunity for people buying up Bitcoin. Everybody seems to want to just keep buying and buying and buying. The price wouldn't go down. The rich people would stop doing it. Shrug. But that's why they are rich and the sellers at the moment. I'm sure the rich people are grateful that you gave them your Bitcoin for cheap, though. So there's that. Well, I'm trying to think. At this point in time, I don't know really who's selling too much. I mean, the way I would describe, how a lot of us trade right now as far as, you know, my friends in the industry, that could be influencers, professional traders. Most people are just dollar cost averaging different things. Now, this could be your typical Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum mixture, right? We all kind of own those things. But then, you know, I got friends that own Dogecoin, Bonk, you know, Pepe. One of my friends loves Pepe. One of them is like me, and we just kind of put a few $1,000 into Shiba Inu and then just wait for it to pop, and then boom, we make a lot of money. So right now, I don't think it's like the time to panic and sell Bitcoin, Robert. I think instead it's just, you know, stay calm, continue dollar cost averaging, and wait it out. If you're feeling, or you kind of have that feeling that things are kind of going crazy, or the market's manipulated, stuff like that, you know, it's okay to just kind of leave it behind for a little bit and say, hey, I'm just going to chill and wait for the market to go back up, because, you know, you believe the market's going to go up. And hey, Kelly, the government sold off. I haven't seen it just yet. Let me go over here to Twitter very fast. And for this one, let's go over here to this one. So I was looking at Bitcoin news a few minutes ago, but let me go over here. I'll go to Bitcoin and I'll research this very fast. So the wait is over. This is from Senator Cynthia Loomis. Let me zoom in here a little bit for you guys. There you go. Read our text for the Bitcoin Act below. Breaking strategic Bitcoin reserve bill officially introduces U.S. to buy and hold 1 million Bitcoin. Provides pathway for states to hold Bitcoin. Interesting. Let's see. Trying to see. I don't really see anything about the government selling the Bitcoin right now. I can go to latest though. Let me see how that works out. Or better yet, you know who usually has these? Arkham usually has up-to-date stuff. There you go. July 4th. Here we go. The last time they messaged was 8 hours ago, and they were saying that Grayscale Mini Bitcoin ETF receives $1.8 billion in Bitcoin inflow. Grayscale moved $1.8 billion in Bitcoin through Coinbase Prime to their Mini Bitcoin Trust ETF last night, sourced from the GPTC Bitcoin Trust. The Mini Trust began trading today. The ticker is Bitcoin BTC. Interesting. So there's some stuff going on here, that's for sure. And let me see. So they're finally making some moves. Jesus, you can see what happened. Yeah, last year that was kind of crazy. But yeah, so they are moving some money here. I don't see any real news here. I mean, this was 13 hours ago. Update: Mt. Gox moved 3.1 billion Bitcoin. Last night, Mt. Gox addressed the 33.96 Bitcoin, 2.25 billion to addresses we believe are most likely BitGo. So maybe they are pushing this down a little bit more. I haven't seen the actual sell-offs just yet, but I'll keep an eye out for them. And if you guys hear anything on Twitter about actual links, like tell me what name to search and I'll check them out for you guys. But yeah, I guess Mt. Gox can be causing a little bit more fear in the marketplace right now, despite us having a fairly dovish Federal Reserve report, you know, FOMC meeting. I thought that was decent. The stock market obviously liked it. The crypto market didn't really do much besides just go down. So yeah, there's definitely some shenanigans going on here. And hey, how about, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. Can you highlight the Fed meeting earlier today? So basically he came out and said no more rate cuts. We're not going to be cutting rates today. And then he went on to kind of explain why. The same type of thing applies as what he said last month for the most part. He says, we see inflation coming down. Making sure my dog's not here. We notice that it's moderating. We see that things are on the right path, but we need to see even more data to make sure we're very confident that when we cut those rates, nothing bad is going to happen. He was fairly dovish. He was trying to give examples of when he might try to do that. Everybody kind of has the feeling now that he's going to be pricing in a cut for September. There was some worry about the jobs market and how the jobs market is cooling off, but generally speaking, he wants the job market to cool off a little bit for a little bit less jobs out there. So there have been a few slight warning signs that jobs are falling down a little bit more than expected, but overall, it's working to his favor to get inflation back down to 2% here. But yeah, no cuts. The cut is most likely going to happen in 2000, in September. There you go. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's having a rough time of it here. FOMC meeting was right here. They'll pop and dip, and then we kind of just came down here, and now we're settling and waiting for a larger move to come across here. Oh, let me see. It's a bank run. Oh, I hope it's not a bank run. I don't think it's a bank run though. The last time we really had banking issues with Bitcoin, it did leave a pretty nasty scar on the price action. If we go back over here, you guys will notice this. Let's see. There you go. This was the banking crisis right there. So that big dip on the weekly chart, that was the banking crisis. Even if I were to... There you go. You can see how violent it got. Whenever news broke about a bank going down, yeah, it was like one after the other after the other. And of course, if you guys recall, we had Silicon Valley Bank go down, and that was just an absolute catastrophe because so many crypto projects, AI projects, they all had their money in, on or in this particular bank. However, I don't sense we're in a banking crisis at this moment in time. We're kind of in this weird spot with Bitcoin, right? I wouldn't even call it weird or boring. We're basically waiting to see if we're going to be able to hold this level of support here, bounce off, and then try to break out down the road, or if we're going to have to consolidate for a little bit longer period of time, come back down here towards 62,000, 61,000, something that's not going to be fun, of course, and then try to make a move later on. So are we looking to break out over the next few days, or are we looking for something of a higher low? For me right now, I'd say something more of a higher low here. If Bitcoin's not going to go up after that pretty dovish report, I'm not too optimistic that it's going to be able to just, have a huge reversal and just go. So right now, I'm going to be looking for some swing trades on the short side, or just waiting for the opportunity for Bitcoin to fall a little bit more, and then try to buy any potential dips that come out over the next maybe 2 to 3 days. I don't think this dip will last too long, but just long enough to freak people out. And hey, discount, things are a little bit rough right now, but not catastrophic, I would say. After the FOMC meeting, we saw Bitcoin come down quite a bit. It appears that the Mt. Gox guys are selling some stuff. I don't have it confirmed yet. I'm trying to look for some news on X or online, and I just can't find it. You can see the last updates I've seen right here from Arkham 13 hours ago, and then of course 8 hours ago. We go over here to Bitcoin very fast and try this again. So that's Cynthia right there, 3 hours ago, July 27th, July 29th, 2 minutes ago. You need to own 0.1 Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't see much news about this right now, but if anybody has news, let me know and I'll try to share it with you guys, right? At this point though, that bearishness from the weekly chart is still pulling us down here, and I just don't know if we're going to be able to escape that for another week or two. And hey, Tal, how you doing, my man? I think the economy is trash, honestly, of now. Okay, so it's been trash for a while now. However, I'll say it like this. If you're wealthy and you have money in the stock market, you have been making a shit ton of money in this environment. But the average consumer that the government typically doesn't care about, right? They are in a lot of pain, a lot of pain. Usually when a president comes in and says, "I'm going to help out the middle class," they're not. Start buying back up cheaper. Oh yeah, if you guys want a dollar cost average this, by all means, go for it. I already have enough at this point, so I'm not going to buy any more until what's today? Tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. Thursday is my usually dollar cost average day, and I'm hoping that Bitcoin comes down a little bit more, honestly, so I can buy it at a little bit of a cheaper price. I see we're at this support level. I see we're trying to hold. I don't know if we're going to be able to, but I'm watching. I'm watching right now. You can see how some of these moves are playing out here. There we go. I don't know. Let me know if you guys think this is going to break down or not. Wealth transfers from the poor to the rich. Oh, always. Again, Which is why, generally speaking, I just focus on making money for myself. I don't worry about anything else. I used to be much more political in my youth. I used to want to like protest and shit, and I was like, damn, all this during this protest, I can be, making money, investing, learning how to become wealthy, and I decided just to do that. So I highly recommend learning to invest in stuff over protesting and wasting your time. Right now, it's going to be it's just going to be a crazy cycle, right? People aren't paying their debts, credit cards, hitting the economy. Yeah. I don't know. People are again. They're in financial trouble, and they're trying to figure out what to do next. But if you don't have the money to pay off your credit card, eventually the debt, the price of the debt just keeps getting out of control, and then you have to go into bankruptcy, which means your credit is shot. It's a whole horrible experience. Yada yada yada. Let's see. Another banking crisis is coming in your cold wallet. Oh, I never thought about a cold wallet crisis. That could definitely be something there. Do you know what broker I can use to short crypto in Ontario? I do not. Typically, this is what I would do for you. I have a few links down below. Give them a shot and see if any of them work. But in case one of those doesn't work, you can go over here to coinmarketcap.com. You can go to this little button right here that says exchanges. You can choose between spot and derivatives. Then go down this list here and then start clicking on the links for these, and then see if any of these allow you to open up an account in Ontario there. And therefore you'll know, kind of which one to use. For me out here in Washington State, I don't have access to Binance. I have access to Coinbase. I don't have access to OKX. I don't have access to Bybit. I don't have access to Upbit. I don't have access to Kraken. I don't have access to Gate.io. I don't have access to HTX. I don't have access to Bitfinex, KuCoin. I don't have access to MEXC. I don't have access to BitGet. I have access to Crypto.com exchange. I don't have access to Binance TR. I don't have access to BingX or Bitstamp. Maybe LBank, I'm not entirely sure. Bitmart, no. BitThumb, no. Gemini, no. You know what I mean? So I don't really have a lot of options myself. But yeah, so your best luck is just to try to test some of this stuff out here. And again, right now Bitcoin is looking pretty bearish here, so we're going to see if this thing can hold up or not. What I should do here is go to the 4-hour chart though, and make sure that I have this done properly. Why doesn't there have another? Oh, there it is. There you go. That way you guys can see the actual drop point here. You can see we're trying to retest the support here, and Bitcoin is trying to get pushed back down. And so in this typical situation where you have everything on the weekly chart, daily chart pointing towards more bearish activity, you're going to see a lot of people taking shorts right now, even if they're just going to be for a few hours or so. It may be more practical if we break down before people open up shorts, but that's kind of the gist of what I'm looking at right now. Oh, Blowfin works. There you go. Yeah. Kevin made 75 grand shorting. Yeah. If you guys know how to short, definitely try to learn how to. Oh, if you guys don't know how to short, I definitely recommend learning about it. It's just that shorting, like, so if I were to long an asset and it goes to $0, and becomes worthless, I've lost 100% of my investment. Right? With shorting, you can lose over 100% of your asset because the sky is the limit, basically. So I don't want you guys to go gung ho into the shorts field. I'd say just make sure you guys are treating it responsibly, having proper risk management there, and then of course selling when you feel like you made enough money. And here we go, Bitcoin coming down a little bit here. We'll see if it's able to push down even more or not. There you go. So it's not just you. Oh no, not just you. Yep. People can work. There are jobs. My friends are making money in solar and day trading. It's up to the person to re-educate their game or complain waiting for the politician to get them a job. What do you call? There are a lot of people that have so many different views about how the government's supposed to help them out. I think there comes a time, like with me, I used to want the government to kind of help me out, do this and do this and this, and then once I realized that no matter if I voted for a Democrat or Republican, neither of them were going to help me achieve that little goal that I had, I was like, well, damn, why don't I just start doing what I got to do to make my own money? and then worry about that later on. Everything else later on. So now that I have my money, like I said before, I just don't like politicians in general. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That was a little bit of a flasher right there. Ooh, that happened pretty fast. Well, somebody is trying to sell some crypto off, that's for sure. We'll keep an eye on this right now, guys. This is this is definitely something going on at this point. There we go. Oh well, but at least we saw this coming, right? This is why we talked about the Bitcoin weekly charts earlier today and then yesterday. Those weekly charts are going to be a pain to unlatch from. It may only be like a week and a half more of this, maybe 2 weeks at the most. But we are slowing down as far as the more bearish moves. We're still higher than we were a couple weeks ago, right? If you hold Solana, you can also go to Jupiter Swap Tool, and at the top it says perp. Go there and you can do you can do it straight from your Phantom Solana wallet. Oh, there you go too. See, you got options right there. Down it going. Oh, down it goes. Yep. We'll see. I mean, we haven't broken down below the support. So you see that white line right there? That's the support level there. There's an attempt to try to push Bitcoin up right now. I don't know if it's going to succeed, but you can definitely see there's some volatility happening right now. There we are. Now, how's the rest of the market doing? So, cost was up a teeny bit. Not much else is happening though. Bitcoin's positive for the day, up 40 bucks. Not really a lot. Everybody's kind of just like going sideways here, slowly. If Bitcoin makes a move one way or the other, you'll see the rest of the market, follow it. There we are. All right. And hey, Matt, stop watching and just go to bed. Oh, I think too many people are addicted to watching this type of stuff like I am. I always have to watch the charting action. You know, when I was on my flight over from Seattle to Nashville, you know, I was up in my seat. They came over and said, Mr. Whitman, would you like a pre-takeoff drink? And I was like, I sure would. I would love a rum and Coke. Actually, I said bourbon and Coke. But first thing I did after I got my bourbon, I started looking at TradingView, looking at my charts. I was like, you know what? I want to see what Bitcoin's doing here. I had a few open trades, and I was like, you know what? I want to make sure nothing crazy happens while I'm on my way to Nashville. And I'm glad I did. A lot of us are just addicted to this type of stuff. And hey, Don, what about XRP? Do you want to talk about? It basically isn't doing anything right now. It's at that big level of resistance, and it's just getting rejected at this point here. Let me see what else is going on here. STMX is up 1.6%. Everything else really is down besides you can think of the stock market here. The NASDAQ was up 3% today. The Dow was up 0.24. Russell was up 0.5. And then the SPY was up 1.63. So definitely some big moves by the SPY and the NASDAQ today. Probably because they've been losing some money over the past few days, right? All right, let's go over here very fast. Top. Latest. I'm trying to get a refresh here. Not much news here. I'm looking for new news. This is all multiple hours old and I can't refresh it to make it look better. Running Bitcoin mining operations on vented methane from landfills is insanely emission reducing. 45 more emissions reduced per unit of power than installing more solar grid on the panel. Oh, more solar on the panel. That's interesting. More solar on the grid. Yes, there are other ways to use vented methane. No, they're not profitable. Huh. Flared methane, vented methane, and solar. And he's saying this box is the same as that box and the same as that box. Let's see. The Bitcoin bull market starts where the gold bear market begins. Golden bear, golden bear. See, up a little bit more, up a little bit more. Oh, he's talking about this one. I'm not... The way he's describing this is kind of funky, but I get what he's trying to say. Breaking, President Donald Trump is holding Bitcoin. SPY up 2%, Bitcoin down 2%. I'm okay as long as he supports Bitcoin there. I think he'll be good. First person that finds Chalino gets $1,000 in Bitcoin. Ooh, who's Chalino? Yeah, I have no idea who Chalino is. If you guys know who Chalino is, let me know. I have to ask Crypto Face about it. That addiction is what makes a lot of people thousands, so not bad. What do you call it? Yeah, I mean, it's almost like an addiction, but you have to sprinkle in some discipline. For example, me, I am fairly disciplined while trading, but I have a really bad case of ADHD, like just really, really bad. I'm almost thinking of hopping back onto some meds for it, but I don't think I really want to. So I think I'm going to just start drinking some coffee or smoking a cigar while streaming. No, not cigars. That'd be too bad for me. I can't smoke too many cigars. But I'm thinking of just drinking a cup of coffee or something to kind of mellow me out before I go. Maybe I'll have like a 0.1 milligram gummy or something. I'm not entirely sure. But it can, you know, it can mess up my stream, so to speak, but it doesn't mess up my trading because I'm disciplined. I know what I'm doing. There's a lot of people out there who are addicted to looking at the charts, but they suck at trading, and that addiction makes them trade more often than they should. Most new traders only need to trade about once or twice a week, and then they're good. Other ones need to trade, you know, every day, every freaking hour to try to get where they're going, and that usually doesn't work out too well for those who are trying that method. And hey, King's Solidus, did I see the FOMC meeting? Yeah, we did. It was a great meeting. Jerome Powell was fairly dovish here. There was some hawkish talk, but overall, we kind of just know, hey, we're going to have a rate cut in September. Now we're just waiting to see what happens there. Some parts of the market liked it, some did not. The stock market thought it was fine. The crypto markets did not. And we're kind of where we are at this point in time. It's a chameleon? Oh, okay, that explains it. Well, here, let me see. Let's pull this open here. Let's final stream. All right. So in looking for a chameleon, I'm guessing we're looking for a tail or something. Let me see very fast. I can't see him. Is there something there? Let's see. I'm looking on branches, but I don't know if it's a large. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you see him right there in the back. Okay. Give him a little pat pat. I love the eyes. He's just like, hey, 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 hey. He's like, hey, 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 I'm on the move now. But yeah, I've always sucked at looking at those chameleons. Or I've always sucked at like finding Waldo. I've always sucked at finding Waldo. And hey, Trev, right now we're bouncing off a level of support, but the overall like vibe of Bitcoin, I don't say vibe just sounds so weird. The weekly charts are still pretty bearish, and they're still pulling us back down, unfortunately. The daily charts just turned daily yesterday, and that's not good, of course. And now we're waiting to see if we can try to have some type of abnormal pop, but generally speaking, we're not looking very optimistic here. If I was looking to buy right now, that you could buy at 64,700. Your stop loss would literally just be like $400, $500 below that. It would just be that trend line right there to make sure that you guys don't hold for too long waiting for an opportunity like this, because I do think there's an opportunity for Bitcoin to kind of pop here, but it would still be a pop then larger drop, and that may get people more. People may fall for that bull trap there. I see it. It's in the back. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you saw it faster than I did. That's for sure. There we are. So if you guys want to hear the gist of the Fed meeting, basically, Fed holds policy steady, expresses more caution than expected on September rate cut. Prior to today's meeting, markets had priced in a 100% chance of a rate cut in the bank's September meeting. That is still the case right here. They say the policy statement was more hawkish than most anticipated. Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think this was such a hawkish speech like they're saying. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I think it was just fine. I don't think it was crazy hawkish. I don't think it was crazy dovish. But I don't think it was bad. As expected, the U.S. Federal Reserve left its benchmark Fed funds rate unchanged at 5.25% to 5.5%. Maybe somewhat surprisingly, though, the Fed gave little indication that a September rate cut was guaranteed. Well, they're not going to guarantee anything. They don't guarantee anything. That's all the Fed does. The Fed does not deal in guarantees or in absolutes. So I was a little bit more confused about that statement when I was reading over this here. But it says, in the minutes following the more hawkish than expected statement, bond yields and the dollar rose a bit, but both remained lower for the day. The price of Bitcoin edged lower to 66,550, but remained modestly higher than the past 24 hours. The U.S. stocks remained sharply higher for the next session. The Nasdaq up 2.4% and the S&P 500 up 1.6%. Again, everything on the stock market side looked very, very good. It's the crypto side where we're having some issues right now, and we're still stuck in this slowdown. That being said, the weekly chart for the stock market is a lot more bullish than the weekly charts for Bitcoin here. And hey, Trav, you're playing the bounce. The bounce is going to be a good idea as long as you have that stop loss there, because the 4-hour chart's still trying to figure out what it wants to do, but this can definitely try to bounce back up for a few hours and try to hold before, again, either breaking out or deciding to continue falling down and coming back down here towards like what, $63,000. I'm hoping it doesn't do that. I just want to buy a little bit of cheap Bitcoin. I don't want to go crazy with it. There we are. Why does the Asian market have been bullish? Europeans pretty much sideways, and the U.S. market bearish. Is it cryptos? Every time you wait for the U.S. market to start, you know that's going to go down. A little bit so, I don't know the exact reason. I would say that Asia has a lot more stuff happening in the crypto space than the United States does. Russia's doing some stuff also this week as far as, getting around sanctions by buying Bitcoin and other digital assets. I think it's just some of the simple stuff there. I don't think it's anything too complicated. However, Asia seems to be where it's at. The US seems okay, and Europe is maybe like a distant second compared to where the first one is, the Asia. Are AI coins dead in the long term? I wouldn't say they're dead. I've been dollar cost averaging a few of them so far. You're going to have to wait for, it looks like, for the altcoin season before those things really start to gear up and go again, or some type of new technology breakthrough with Sora AI. I believe Sora AI is being held by the government or by Microsoft and not being able to be mass adopted, mostly because I think at this point in time, they don't want it to fuck with the election. I need my alts to go up. Everyone in the chart, please go all in. That's something else right there. And hey, I'm happy to see my man. And hey, Gaggle. I like Trump. I don't really like politicians in general. I would say I prefer him over Kamala Harris. Yeah, I definitely prefer him over Kamala Harris. I just want some sense of stability. And I think right now, one of my primary focuses, because I don't really care too much about my local politics, because I can deal with that with my local politicians. I kind of want all the wars around the world to kind of chill out. When Biden was elected to president, I thought it might just be a boring time out there in the rest of the world. I was very surprised to see how bad everything got within a few years. I kind of don't want to continue in that direction. I definitely want to just say, hey, let's chill, let's relax, let's have our fun in life. But, I don't want to be thinking about, damn, Russia and America are doing a proxy war over in Ukraine, Hamas and Iran, Israel, all that shit going on. I'm like, damn, can we just get back to some normalcy where, we're just bombing terrorists in the caves and that's that's it. The good old days. I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Thoughts on Mumu the Bull on Solana? I think it's okay. It's kind of a long shot to make it go viral and go big, but I do think there's an opportunity there if you were to put a couple $100 into it and kind of see where it goes. The market cap is still small enough where you could think about putting a couple $100 in there, but not so small that you're like, oh damn, this project's about to get rugged any day now type of stuff. So I would definitely consider doing that. Peace through strength. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like wars. I don't. I like stability and predictability. When the world is not predictable, it becomes very, very crazy and very, very chaotic, very, very fast. I think I saw, like, on TikTok today, there was like riots going on in England, and I was like, what the fuck is going on there? They're having like race stuff go on because I think the immigrants are creating crime or something, and everybody's ticked off, and the government's choosing the immigrants over the citizens, and it just sounds like a fucking mess. I don't want to deal with any of that stuff. I'm gonna chill, I'm gonna relax, and I'm just gonna make my money in the market and let everybody else deal with those types of problems, because I don't care. BLV, right? Yeah, what do you call it? It's simple in my brain. I try not to do it so much. There's lots of people out there who, in the crypto space, that will openly endorse a candidate. I'm not endorsing Trump, or I'm not endorsing Biden or Harris. I'm not doing anything like that. But I'll let you guys just know my thoughts, right? Like I just said, I'll just let you guys know my thoughts. I don't think I have to really be so sneaky about it. You know, crypto makes you vote different ways than you normally would have, I guess, maybe 10, 20 years ago. I'm talking about 20 years ago, I was, what, like 9 years old? Wasn't voting for shit back then. Am I a fan of the Coinbase wallet? Not really. I'm more of a fan of the Ledger wallet series myself. You can go down the Coinbase wallet if you want to. Just be very, very careful. I like having my assets in a cold storage where, like, again, nobody can touch them. It feels really pure and magical when I have that wallet. It's like, haha, there's like 5 Bitcoin on this wallet, but nobody can ever touch them. It's that type of stuff. Excuse me. There you go. This article from CoinDesk says Bitcoin tumbles below 65,000 post FOMC as Middle East tensions flare. So this is actually blaming the Middle East for the event, but I haven't heard anything about this just yet. So about the Middle East stuff, all I know is that that leader was killed. I haven't heard anything saying, oh wow, you know, everybody has to know that that person was killed. I haven't heard anything of that. Let's see. It's the Iranian president, or I don't know what he does, but you know, he was killed. Oh, let's see here though. Nah, black. Oh yeah, I heard Donald Trump said some controversial stuff today. Caucasian, Indian American. Jesus, it must all be about that type of stuff. Amish, Maduke, perhaps Devers, Nani, yeah, Nani. Liverpool, oh yeah, Liverpool, birtherism, Lavia, she's an Indian. The craziness on X here. Here's Liverpool. Oh no, this is a soccer match. Let's see. No? Oh, okay. I forget exactly where that stuff was happening. There's like riots going on in the UK right now. Hey BL, will sell us anything? What do you mean by sell? I'm not going to sell you shit. I'm sure there's a lot of crypto people that will sell you something. I mean, I guess, no, I do sell you. I sell you exchanges. I answer you guys' questions about exchanges, and if you guys want to use my links, you guys can. I don't talk about them too much, but they're there, you know. Oh, it was a Hamas member. That's what it was. Oh, okay. Here, I can search it up. I'm a little bit drained from waking up early today. That's what it is. I kind of adapted to the East Coast time for a little bit. Iran. There we go. Excuse me. I don't trust major news outlets, but okay, we can go with Fox. I looked at CNN earlier, then might as well go with the other side. There you go. Iran's Ayatollah Ali Khamenei orders direct attack on Israel. Report comes hours after the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh. I can't pronounce that word, so sorry. So now there's going to be a tit for tat going back and forth. Join Fox News for X. Fuck Fox News. I'm not going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. Sorry. Fuck Fox News. I hate paying for shit. Washington Post. Fuck this one as well. I shouldn't be cursing as much. I'm just tired, so I'm cursing a lot more. There you go. AP News. Here we go. This is it. So Hamas top political leaders killed in Iran in strike that risked triggering an all-out regional war. They say this regional war thing all the time. Who knows if it's actually going to come to pass? But this is from Beirut. Hamas top political leader was killed Wednesday by a pre-dawn airstrike in the Iranian capital. Iran and the militant group said blaming Israel for a shock assassination that risked escalating into an all-out regional war. Iran's supreme leader vowed revenge against Israel. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, said Israel will exact a very heavy price from any aggression against us on any front, but did not mention the killing. There are challenging days ahead, he added. Israel has pledged to kill Ismail Han, whatever his name is, had pledged, to kill him and other Hamas leaders over the group's October 7th attack on southern Israel that sparked the war in Gaza. The strikes came just after, whatever his name is, had attended the inauguration of Iran's new president in Tehran, and hours after Israel targeted the top commander in Iran's ally Hezbollah and the Lebanese capital Beirut. So, that assassination was potentially explosive amid the region's volatile intertwined conflicts because of its target. We'll see what happens here, but that's not good news. If they go back and forth, dude, all of a sudden, oil is going to start skyrocketing, inflation starts skyrocketing, that leads to no rate cuts in the year of our Lord 2024, Jesus. But yeah. You're talking about politicians? Oh, okay, I don't like politicians. Is that why it's going down? In part, yeah. So, if we look at Bitcoin here, we've talked about this a few times, but I'll try to make it clear because I know not everybody watches me every freaking stream because my streaming schedule is pretty erratic. So right now you can see on the weekly chart, Bitcoin is coming down right now, right? The heck is going on here? What is this? Why does it have two layers? There we go. Sorry about that. There we go. You can see how Bitcoin is coming down right now. We also have the RSI, the stochastic, and the MACD all right here, all pointing towards bearish activity. When I see all of those being bearish, any breakout that I see is going to be treated as something I only hold for 24 to 34 hours, basically. Usually 20 to 30 hours if I'm, 20 to 30 hours. Now, despite us having this really big few weeks because of Donald Trump, the Bitcoin conference, all that news surrounding it was great news. Despite all of that, and I think this got kicked off with the Trump assassination attempt, we are coming back down a little bit more. We are not bullish just yet, but to me, the reason I was talking to you guys about, hey, watch out for this, I'm not too optimistic, I would say cautiously optimistic, is because, again, the oscillators are pointing down right now. You go to the daily chart, they were up just until today, and now they're all red, right? To me, that's like, we could really see a nasty move back down here to $61,000, $62,000 here, and people probably won't like that. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on it right now. If we start to break down, I will be shorting this sucker, because I believe at the end of that, we should have something more of a dip and rip, right? And then we'll have this larger breakout like that over the next few months going into September, October during the rate cut season, excuse me. But that's just going to be difficult to do right now as far as trying to bounce off of this. We're trying. It's not working successfully, but we are trying. You can see how we're still getting pushed down bit by bit. If perhaps we can get back above that 20-day moving average, we can buy some breathing room here. US oil daily chart, can you pull it up and what do you see viewing 1 year candles? It looks pretty darn bearish right now, to be honest. So here's the monthly chart. All right. We're consolidating and waiting for this move down. This continuation pattern most likely, so that means we're probably going to come back down here towards, I don't know what this level is. Between $63 and about $67. That's kind of be where you kind of settle off for a while here. I've been holding a lot of oil stocks and they've been doing just fine as far as I'm concerned. However, you know, like you were talking about right here, what was it? The daily chart. You know, we're just getting shot straight up here. A big thing about that is, of course, the Middle East debacle that's happening at this point in time. I'm okay with it as of now. We are going to be looking to squeeze out of here. This is September, October. You know, we're going to break out one way or the other before September or during September. There we are. Nothing happens. Iran's previous revenge was a big joke. Hey, you never know. You never know. I don't really expect much coming out of Iran myself, but if it does lead to more tension to the Middle East, oil prices going higher, that does have an inflationary effect on the overall economy, and that will make the CPI numbers marginally, not a lot. It'll make them go up a teeny bit here, which of course will make it appear, and it'll be a fact that inflation is starting to go back up. So we're trying to walk that very, very fine line right now. Self-fulfilling prophecy. People think it's going down, so they sell, which makes it go down. I mean, yeah, people do that quite a bit here. I mean, what I do is I short. If I see it going down, I short. If I see it going up, I long. And I sell right after I've made enough money here. Usually the best way to go about it. And let me see this very fast. Push this over. So we don't need that right now. The rear of JFK's seat, limousine right after the assassination. I don't see much Bitcoin coming out here. Dating shows in 2024. Huh. Yeah, there's no real new news here. I'm looking for new posts and stuff. They're just not coming. It's not like the app where you can kind of refresh and it shows up more recent data. It just doesn't do that as far as I'm concerned with this. Let me see. To here. Looking at this. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Making sure that's fine. But yeah, not much news here as far as I'm concerned right now. Bitcoin, of course, is still bearish and waiting to see if it does drop down a little bit more. What's up with Caseoh hitting an all-time high? There are just tokens sometimes that make good rallies while Bitcoin's kind of getting a little bit more bearish. I would still be trading Caseoh kind of aggressively as far as day trading, but eventually it's going to catch up to where Bitcoin is and it's going to have a pretty big fall. Those falls are very fun to short, but very, very risky at the same time. If you wanted to hop into Caseoh, you typically just gonna wait for it to withdraw a little bit, a pullback, a small correction, and then you're going to long into that correction and watch it go up afterwards, after it's kind of had some time to settle down, consolidate, and watch some of those larger moves here. Let me see. Right now, we're barely holding on to this. Barely holding on. Pop this open right here. What's the best way to listen to Bitcoin? Last hour, I guess, or less? No. Stuff I learned from studying Bitcoin, stuff I learned in college. No, this is not much here. Oh well, I'll have to wait and see what it is. And set up a little bit more. Yeah, there we are. And let me go over here very fast. There we go. Alright. Now, is anything else moving right now? Because I'm looking at a few things and they're just not doing so hot, but not terrible. You know, Bitcoin's down a little bit today, but most other altcoins seem to be doing just fine. Some even up over 2%. So we're seeing, you know, Ocean is down, MOG is down a teeny bit, and Turbo is down a little bit, but not really a lot, like, you know, 0.24%. Popcat is up 2%. XLM is down a little bit, but everything else is generally okay. You have things like Injective up 1%, Wild up 1.4%. theta 1%, and then FTM up 1.5%. Mostly everything else is just up around a fraction of a percent. Not really a lot to go off of there. There you go. But anyway, guys, I'm going to end the stream right here. It's been nice talking with you guys. I'll probably hop on a little bit later on tonight. I'm just exhausted from that trip to Nashville, and I'm dozing off while I'm talking. It doesn't look that doesn't look good. So a little bit later, I'm probably going to run another stream with you guys. I'm going to keep on going back through all these formats here, like, you know, between this one, and this one here. But I'll see you guys a little bit later. As far as TON, I think it's fine. It's more volatile than I would like for most people to get started off with. But if you want to day trade it, typically you might have to do something like a 3 to 4x leverage, and then kind of only hold it for up to 15 to 20 hours for that one because of how short some of the rides are on it. So I'll see you guys a little bit later. Sorry, I'm kind of passing out. I mean, I've been streaming for an hour, but I'm like falling asleep and I feel guilty about it. So I don't want to fall asleep live on the stream because you guys will just hear me snoring. I snore very loudly.